Hello, and welcome to another episode of Motels. I'm Dave's minion, CudaPete, and we're back again for another episode regarding design, supply, and manufacture of parts for Chrysler cars in the mid-1980s. So in our first episode, we looked a little bit at what happened in the engineering department and what was provided to suppliers to make parts from. Today, we're going to look at how that quality was maintained from outside suppliers and what was required of them. So the first thing we want to do is we want to define quality. And a lot of people say, well, I have a high quality product, I have a low quality product. But a lot of people think, well, quality is not really an objective thing. It's more subjective, like love. I love my car. I love my family. Quality is quite different. Quality is objective. It is meeting the requirements. So you can basically say the definition of quality is meeting the requirements. So if you have an item that meets all the requirements, then you have a high quality item. If you have an item that doesn't meet the requirements, then you have a low quality item. So, but what does meeting the requirements mean? And especially in regards to car parts? Well, in our first episode, we looked at how we established those metrics using design of experiments. And once we did that, then statistical process control was used to measure the performance of the parts. So that gave an objective measurement. Is the part high quality? Is it low quality? Does it need improvement? Or is it good to go as is? So statistical process control, or SPC, relies on math and statistics to gain that metric. So back when I was starting out, I was working on one day, my boss said, hey, Pete, can you see if this process is capable? So I start working on it, and I'm crunching numbers away, and I'm trying to get this done. And of course, as a young engineer, I'm trying to do a good job. When one of the old guys comes over, he's like chomping on a cigar as you could smoke in the office back in those days. He goes, hey, Pete, what are you doing? Oh, well, the boss asked me to do this. But Pete, what are you doing? Well, you know, I'm calculating. He goes, no, you're doing it wrong. He goes, no. But I said, yeah, and if you're familiar with statistics, with bell curve, a lot of that is integral calculus, and that's what I was doing. So he goes over to his desk and he brings back this card. And it's a formula card, and it has everything already laid out on it. And he says, here, do this. Just make the calculation. Nobody cares how you got it, just as long as it's correct. And he said, one thing to remember, if you're using calculus to do something, you're doing it wrong. There's absolutely no use for it. And to this day, that's true. I've been an engineer 35 years, and I've never had to use it again, and I've gotten along just fine. So that was a little bit of a learning curve early on. So things that were considered part of that was the range and attribute charts, and the CPK index. And the CPK index was measuring the capability of a process to make sure the process was in control. And what that means is the process repeatable? Is it reliable? Do you get consistent results all the time? Meaning, are your specifications within a certain range and are certain attributes being met? So that's what we were measuring. So we also had to rely on our suppliers to do this too, to get a quality part. And in order to do that, we provided them with what we called the Supplier Quality Assurance Manual. And in this manual, it defined to them what does Chrysler expect from their suppliers. It provided an accepted analytical methods and a way for record keeping. It provided a way for drawing and change control to make sure that the parts were being made to the latest specifications and drawings. It also provided how to do lot control and traceability in case there was a problem. You could go back and see where that problem occurred. And it also had a survey to make sure the supplier was meeting the quality requirements. And that was where I came in. I used to have to go out to the supplier plants. I used to have to review their records, sit down with them, make sure everything was being complied with, make sure that all the requirements were being met, look for areas of improvement. And we did this with plants all across the country, and not only in the US, but also in Canada, Germany, Japan, and Mexico, because there was a global supply chain at that point too. So that's basically what was required from suppliers and how Chrysler kept track of them at the time to make sure that a quality product was being delivered. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. Thank you very much for watching.